I look like the fat guy. Look like a fat guy. I need a different shirt. This is not good.
You got the, you got those like when you reach up for something, you know how the skin kind of stretches and in the underarm kind of looks like a little bat wing.
Yeah, dude, it's not good.
You're getting that. I mean, no, I'm not saying I'm not there. But a guy just don't get the same kind of exercise as once was.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say
Once
that.
was, once were.
I once was. I don't know how to say it, man. Not
Once
even
were
gonna try.
warriors.
No, come on.
Remember that movie?
Yeah, I do remember it. We got to do another episode on native cinema. Nah, I think we covered them all. Unless there's some new ones. I haven't seen any new native cinema, have you?
That TV show.
Which one?
North of North.
Oh, yeah.
It's whack,
North
though.
of North. Did you say what? I haven't even. I think maybe Salish might have watched it once or twice. I don't remember.
I got stung by a bee yesterday.
Oh, did you get some special powers?
I didn't get no bee powers.
You don't feel like the urge to eat honey? Hey, man. Did was there someone when you was a kid on the Crow Res, or like not someone but some place where you could buy like just honey?
The Hooterites.
They set up a stand and they sold honey.
I think I remember people buying Hooterite honey, but I don't know where they bought it. I think they're buying it from Launchgrass IGA.
There used to be this little
The what?
this little
That's what it was, huh?
LaFleur's.
What, do you remember it?
There's a bee guy. What was his name?
LaFleur.
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 Peter LaFleur, like the hockey player.
Anyway, there was this little honey stand in Arlie, and when I was a young kid, my mom and dad beginning of the summer would go and buy all us kids a little
Excuse me.
those little bears, you know. It's like
Yeah.
honey's in it. But each one of us would get a bear of honey, and we could just go to town on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was like a generational thing, but I ain't out buying my kids a thing of honey.
I remember honey being a more prevalent thing than it is now, but I don't.
Yeah.
I just remember people. I do remember my mom trying to cure us of allergies, or cure my brother of allergies with honey.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it was all about.
I don't know. It didn't actually work, though.
No, I don't think it did. Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I was trying to get a song ready, but I didn't. I failed. Just looking for something right now.
Yeah.
I got man. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to show you this song. It's a real good one. Let me
Classic.
see.
Real good
Yeah,
one.
it's a real good one. Let me see. How can I play it? I got it on my
It's a real
phone.
good
Oh,
song.
I know how to play it. Give me a second. Here. I'm going to go to our YouTube page, and I'm going to encourage all our listeners to go to our YouTube page and dive in to the hours and hours of old Indian music from
KCK subs.
2 different archival, what do you call it? Archival bodies of archive. I don't know what you call it. Archival repositories. There it is. The archival repositories of tribal research specialists is vast, and one should partake in it. Okay, almost there. I'm just kind of stalling for time. Okay. I heard this song on here, and it stood out to me. I'm going to share this sound with you. And I'm going to share this song.
Song.
Share this song. Yeah. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah. Think about that.
What's the kind of song is it?
Huh? No. I seem to think it's like an old chicken dance song or an old grass dance song. Start getting into it here.
Oh.
Yep. I thought it was a good little song, man.
It is.
Mayan? Now, of course, that reel is yeah, it took me a long time to catch it for some reason. Of course, I'm not in singing shape as I used to be, you know. Hard to remember songs, hard to catch them, especially the ones that are a bit off the normal menu, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I challenge you. Agree to disagree.
Agreed to disagree. What's going on? Let's
Yeah,
talk.
yeah. So if anybody's out there that knows the origin of that song, I'd like to know. I'd like to know more. Yeah.
Let's do
Um.
it. Talk.
So I recently returned from your homelands,
Mm-hmm.
deep in the heart of what is now known as Crow Country. Have you heard that term? Or people say that when they
Mm-hmm.
say so-called Canada, so-called Montana. Yeah, you heard that before, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like a bit of a protest of the
Mm-hmm.
nature, the name of a certain place. Wonder if anybody has ever said, I was in so-called Crow Country. Like some rural, like who was there before? Like way, way back in time. Probably Shoshones, maybe.
Shoshone, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like a real scorned Shoshone shows up and tries to do a land acknowledgement.
So-called Crow
So-called Crow
Country.
Country. That's out of hand. But no. So I was there and had a pretty good time. But not there was my time there. Well, not my time, but being there, um, I seen and witnessed an age-old controversy.
What was that?
Oh yeah, wouldn't you like to know? Now this controversy is widespread across Indian country. Are you waiting for my diatribe on this first? I want to see if you can figure out what I'm talking about. And this will be like 20 questions. And so that's the question I gave you an answer. Widespread across Indian country. And it is any ceremonialism or celebratory event is not immune to this internal, there's the next clue, this internal controversy. And it's probably been I guess more prevalent in the last 3 to 4 decades due to the advent of media technology or ways to capture and record
Oh, you're
physical
talking. Oh,
events.
I know you're talking.
He got it. He got it. That
You're
only
talking
took you
about
about
like
yeah, yeah,
recording or filming or photographing like ceremonies
yeah.
are
Yeah.
things that are considered sacred.
Oh yes, you're sharp today, man.
Boy, I'm on it.
You put your big boy shirt on. Your what was you in earlier? Jammies? That's your jammy shirt.
I was in like a cutoff shirt. It was actually Miranda's shirt, but one of them shirts,
What?
where people like cut off like the
No.
sleeves.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
so
Oh yeah.
I had like a really long day. We bought some hay and I unloaded it at my dad's place. 80 small square bales.
Oh,
God dang, I stacked. My dad helped me, but we stacked them, and
bucking
so I
bales.
got. And it kind of started. It was like raining, so it was like real humid. Like
Oh
it was a slight rain. That's what I was trying to beat.
yeah,
And so it made me like real humid. And
yeah.
then so when I got back, I got out of those clothes and I just grabbed a shirt, and it was hers. But we got them from the same place. I think they're the same size too, right? Yeah. But they say Ani Nakota College on them. Sean
Nice,
Chandler gave them to us, the president of the college there, and we were visiting one time, and he's like, "Oh, I got shirts for you." So, um,
nice,
yeah. So, but
nice.
then when I seen myself in the screen, I was like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this."
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Did the bales get wet?
Well, the ones that were on the top got wet. So when I when I stacked them, I just put those to the side. I'm gonna let them dry out.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
put about 3-4 inches of space between each bale while I
Oh, yeah.
stack, so air
Pro.
can get through a little bit. Yeah.
Pro level. Now, of course, you had your dad hawking over you, so he's telling you what to do, right?
Oh no, he came out. I was about 20 bales in. He came out, so he climbed on the trailer, and he was handing them to me. So I gave him the benefit of gravity as I respect my
Out of
father. So
respect. Yeah.
yeah, and I didn't stack them very high because in case I got to move them around, because I'm gonna check on them tomorrow and see if they're damp. Then I got to take that top row off.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So this controversy of recording or documenting things is, I think, is only a controversy because of that word that you said, this idea of sacred, right? Sacred things. And
Mhm.
I'm curious why, when, and where did the idea of like the idea that if something is documented on a pen, paper, or media of some sort, why that infringes on the sacredness of that thing? Because this is everywhere, man. And we even talked about it. Remember, we talked about it in one episode. A guy from that tribe made sketches of some ceremonial doings. Just that's what he did. Then those got into the hands of someone, or he sold them because he was hard up for cash, and that was created a controversy among the people there about sacred things being recorded. So
Yeah.
so you're immersed in the field of this in a particular way. What's the deal, man? What's the history about it? Do you know?
Well, I don't know the history from the tribal point of view. Like um you hear it all the time where people are like, you can't take pictures of that, it's sacred.
Yeah.
um I mean, but when you think about tribes, they've
Yeah.
been allowing some sort of recording, whether it's just writing or whatever, for a while.
Yeah.
And it's no secret that tribes who have lost culture too has benefited from those things.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's kind of a weird thing too, because what I notice, what my problem with it is whether somebody is given permission to record something you would consider sacred or not is actually none of my business.
Right.
And I think that's the issue that I have with it, is when people who are not even part of it
Yeah.
feel the need to comment, whether it's on someone's Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and then
Right.
they'll say, well, they shouldn't be putting them there. And I'm like, well, that's not for me to say. Like, I have no control and no right over
Right.
anybody's ceremonial doings other than things that I either own that way of doing it, or I'm the sponsor of something, or
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like tell somebody they can't. I don't know. I don't know if they can.
Right.
Like,
Right. Right.
also the other issue I think is to assume that we fully understand what sacred means,
Yeah.
and like how everything is like encompassed in that. I don't know if we fully understand. I guess I I'm comfortable enough to say like revering something or caring for something, holding
Yeah.
something sacred, and just having simple forms of respect all might kind of be different in some way.
Yeah.
So about few days ago, I sent you a TikTok of this guy who filmed the inside of a Sundance lodge
Yeah.
after the ceremony was over. And really, he
Yeah.
was just kind of like, man, awesome, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything wrong with it. And then he just got blew up in the comments, like
got
people
slaughtered.
just slaughtered him, and his response to one of them was like, "I do what I want. I don't care," and I liked it. It's funny to me because it's like, man, most people are gonna take what he said as like arrogance, right? They're gonna say like, "Oh, he has no respect." Nobody's gonna comment on the people that feel the need to tell that man what's right or wrong in his tribe.
Yeah.
I think that's more arrogant than him commenting back or whatever. So,
Right.
but I don't know the origins of why we say you can't photograph. I mean, I do think there's simple forms of respect, like cameras can be a disturbance and a distraction.
Yeah.
But like, I do think that there's levels to like quote unquote sacredness, I guess.
You think so?
So like, yeah, well, yeah, like I've seen people freak out over a drum getting whistled at a powwow the same way as like, I don't know, man, like the parade dance that you were part of, the big crow, it's a huge crow ceremony. There's all kinds of people recording. In fact, they streamed it on powwows.com.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of, I'm sure there was a lot of discussion about whether it should be something like that should be streamed. And I think that comes more with the people that putting it on and their comfort level with things, and like really understanding what it is. So I actually didn't even notice them. We were singing, I sang for it. You were the drum, they call it the captive. So at any point did you ever, I'd never even noticed them.
No, I didn't either. I didn't know it was
between
a
the
thing.
heat and having to figure out songs and stuff, it just seemed like the focus was somewhere else. So I didn't see anything wrong with it. And in some ways I liked it because I ended up watching that video a couple times after, it's kind of nice to sit there and watch it. And I mean, I don't know. So years ago, and I can't remember who told me this, I actually believe the name that comes to mind, and I don't know if this is because I seen him on a live stream, but it's Tommy Christians. But it was around the time 2004, 2005. When I heard this, which was the time I met Tommy and we were visiting with him. But I heard that the ghost dance was photographed and they published those pictures in the newspaper. And it was because of those published pictures and the story of this Indian uprising that it spooked the non-native people, which eventually led to like the Wounded Knee Massacre and all that stuff. So there was kind of this fear of photographing and having it get out there. Also, our religions, our ceremonies, ways of worship were outlawed. And so like you couldn't get them out there. Like you couldn't say, hey, don't take no pictures of this. We don't want it getting out because for whatever reasons are. So I don't think we've always had sun dances and medicine dances and stuff way out in the middle of nowhere. I think they were kind of close to camps and communities. I think that was a result of the laws. So that means also the hush hush of it has to be impacted by those laws. So I think after 2-3 generations, when you're like that, your protection of these things and your opinions can be misguided. I don't know though. What do you think?
No, I agree. I agree. I think there's got to be, like you said, there's got to be levels of this idea of sacredness that would govern like the procedure or the I don't know, the access to this to this thing deemed sacred, access to it to certain degrees, right? So you mentioned this parade dance. It's the whole camp isn't there's not well, to a degree there's not limited access to keep people out, right? If there's non-natives, non-crows, if they're there, they can witness it and see it. There's no announcement saying don't record this, you shouldn't record this. It's a public affair. Would you
And
agree?
that's who it's for. It's
Yeah.
for the camp. So if
Yeah.
you're part of the camp and you're part of there, that's who
Yeah.
it's for. There have been years where they said they didn't want anyone filming it, but
Oh,
I
really?
also think that comes from the time when cameras were like 2 feet long, and
They were
and
in
so
the
like
way.
it's a huge distraction. And
Yeah.
now you snap a picture with your phone or your loved ones, and
Yeah.
yeah, but I do think, and I do think there's a difference
Yeah.
even in the parade dance versus like the sun dance. There's a big difference, or the medicine dance and the
Yeah.
parade dance. There is a social element to certain ceremonies,
Yeah.
and some are hush hush, and like, and I think that has more to do with like there's public ceremonies, there's private ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like,
Yeah.
that has to do more with like what they're doing, what their job is. So it might be just two or three people. But if your ceremony is to bless the entirety of the camp, then
Yeah.
yeah, everyone can really is a participant on some level, you know?
Yeah. Has to be by
Yeah.
default, I suppose.
Might be.
So
Yeah.
so in that particular way, I mean, I don't think anyone would say that 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 ceremonial process. I don't think anybody would say that's not sacred, right?
I would
Yeah, I
I would
mean,
think not, but
I
people
don't
on
think not.
TikTok do all the time. They feel like they need to. They feel like they need to. Like, well, me personally, and you've been
Yeah,
there. Like, when it's a nice powwow, your drum group's jamming,
yeah,
and you get whistled. It's like fun. It's a lot of fun, and
yeah,
I don't care who you are or how traditional you are, how not untraditional you are. When your drum group gets whistled, it's pretty exciting. It does change the mood.
sure, yeah, yeah, it does.
I never thought at any point was it like so sacred that
Yeah,
you couldn't take picture. I've enjoyed watching videos of drum groups singing and they're getting whistled because I've been there and I've sat there, and
yeah,
it's like it's kind of fun to see it, and it's like because I know that feeling.
yeah,
Um, I also think that if it's so revered and so sacred, then its place is not in powwow.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're the person who's offended by that, there's a bigger issue, I guess.
Yep.
But then
Yeah.
again, I think people have the right to consider that, I guess, in their own way.
I think so. I think people have the right to sit and discuss things and have
Yeah,
conversations about like things like that. I don't think people have the right to tell somebody from another tribe what they're
yeah,
doing is wrong.
yeah,
I don't think we as a people, just because non-native people are greater America
yeah,
doesn't mean it belongs with us. Like we don't,
right.
it's not my job to comment publicly for sure on what the Shoshones are doing or the Arapahoes or the Cheyennes or
Yeah,
the Salish.
yeah, yeah,
It's not my job. Now I could sit here and talk with my partner and or talk with you, and we can discuss things and have cool conversations
yeah,
like all night. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
I think we
Here-
could even have debates and people
yeah.
can argue, but those things are not for like, I just think it's crazy. So one time I posted a video of a Warriors homecoming. They call it the Shoshone dance.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll read you the comment. It's on my TikTok.
Yeah.
And this ceremony is for warriors to tell war deeds. And somebody commented on my video. It we call it the large telling of deeds dance. It's similar to the
Yeah.
Salish scalp dance. And this person said crows adopt too many ceremonies, too much ceremonial use of other tribes. They really have no traditions, just adoption. This person just commented on my video.
Wow.
Like, what? First of all, that's just the nickname we call it, the Shoshone dance, because it was made popular by a chief named Red Bear who fought against the Shoshone.
Yeah.
But the dance is called the Large Telling of Deed dance, and as far
Yeah.
as I know, it's completely Crow.
Yeah.
It's not a borrowed ceremony, and it's one of the oldest ceremonies we have. But it's designed for the public.
Yeah.
It's for the public. It's for
Yeah.
everyone to witness. Come and look.
Yeah.
They're gonna tell
Yeah.
war deeds, which we believe are blessings, given to us.
Yeah.
So, like, I would never do that. Like, I wouldn't comment on somebody's video and
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, this ain't even yours. You guys are like, how do I know that? You know,
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
it's no lie that we have ceremonies that are adopted from other tribes, but
Yeah.
how those ceremonies, I wouldn't say maybe adopted is the wrong word. They were given to us
Yeah.
as gifts.
Yeah.
So that's very different.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
in turn have given ceremonies to other people, to other
Yeah.
tribes.
Yeah.
So I feel like when people comment on things like that, scolding people about, especially outside of their own people, that's like usually people with superficial knowledge.
Oh yeah. That's one of the problems right there. Is yeah, unless you're an expert and a practitioner of that tribe, then maybe I ought to just shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I also think it's like there's plenty of other videos you can comment on if you feel
Yeah.
the need to comment
Yeah, yeah.
on
Yeah.
on my video of a
Yeah.
ceremony that belongs to the Crows. I'm Crow. It's in Crow Agency.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Now if it was like constructed in a different way, like asking about it. Like is this an adopted ceremony? There's a respectful way to provide comment on something.
yeah, and that's probably not usually a comment on a video. It's probably a message that person
Yeah.
might.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and from the time I very first got on social media to now, I have gotten comments like that, like our
Yeah.
questions, like, hey, I'm curious, I seen your video, I'm just curious, like, what is
Yeah.
this, or what's this for, or
Yeah.
is it normal for you guys to record
Yeah.
things like that?
Yeah.
The other thing I feel it's crazy that people have, um so there's a few ceremonies where Crow women wear war bonnets,
Yeah.
and they're again public ceremonies, so people will post them. And so when
Mhm.
I look through the comments, I see people from other nations like commenting to me like, that's not right, women shouldn't wear bonnets. And I'm like, again, like, why? How? I would not do that. I would not comment
Yeah.
on somebody else's thing, like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I've talked a lot of smack too, so I'm probably a hypocrite to
So
some
this is
degree,
the
but
yeah. I mean, agree that if you're gonna make comment, make it respectful, and if you're an expert, and even if you're an expert and a practitioner, I mean, that's a whole different story.
I would just
What?
tell people not to comment. Don't make
Just don't
comments at all.
comment.
If you really have a question, message that person and ask the
Yeah.
question. Don't
Yeah.
comment, because all you're
Yeah.
doing is creating chaos. Because I think there's people that do it for the sake of argument. They do it for the sake of their own insecurities, and I think it's coming from people who don't have a decent understanding of even their own ceremonial life,
Right.
and so that how would they even know about another people, I know there's tribes even in Montana that they film everything, and
Right.
there's even things I thought, well, that seems interesting, but that's exactly what I did. I thought to myself and said, oh, that's interesting. I probably wouldn't do that, but I would never go up to another person who owns the right to that ceremony or might be in charge of it, and I'll be like, you probably shouldn't do this. It takes away the sacredness. Well, what do I know about their ceremonies and stuff? So
Yeah.
anyway, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah. So this is this is my curiosity. So what happens? So it says that there's a level of sacredness that's somewhat individual, that governs how you ought to negotiate, how you publicly or privately practice that thing that you deem sacred. That's a no-brainer, right? That seems like one level. When it starts to get into where the participation becomes more than one person, and then that's another level. But I think another level would be where this thing that is deemed sacred is like it has elements that are somewhat common across different tribal groups. Like for example, the sun dance and the sweat lodge. Those, like, there would be common elements in a way across different tribes. And it seems like that's where people feel like they have the right to sort of cross the boundary and say, oh yeah, you shouldn't take a picture of that sweat house, or you shouldn't be taking picture of you getting ready to do that, even though they're not of that particular person's tribal group, because they have a familiarity with that process. Some people feel like they have an authority in a certain way to insert their comment in that. And that seems like that's, I don't know. Again, there would be multiple levels to that too, because some of those things might be very private to one person and not so private to another. And it was like I don't know. Who do you know this person, Grant Bulltail? You know who that is, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
learned a
yeah.
lot from that.
Oh man, yeah. Anyway, he said something that sort of gets at this idea, exactly what you're saying. He said, I don't want to call it I don't want to call it a sacred site because your idea of something sacred and my idea of something sacred are a little bit different. And even if you have, that was his quote, you know. So even if there's just that little tiny bit of difference, that seems like a dangerous ground for someone to insert their idea onto someone else. In that particular instance about the sweat house, because
Yeah.
I've seen things, and I look and I say, man, yeah, like you just said, I wouldn't do that. But to put yourself out there and to make a comment and throw shade on somebody for that's pretty
Well,
golly, you know.
I know, and me personally, I feel like I have to have backing with everything I do. So
Yeah.
if I'm gonna type a comment, and before I type the comment, I've even done this as I'm typing a comment, and
Yeah.
then I'll delete then I'll just get rid of it, but I don't even post it. I think what rebuttals can come to me from this?
Yeah.
What can like people say? And then what happens is I ultimately don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm not even passionate about this enough to even deal with the response. So it's like whatever, I'm not gonna comment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't think people think about that. They just are like, oh my God, they're filming a whistle. They're filming someone at at Hinkley Powwow, and they're using the whistle on Yellowhammer. You know, that's a ceremony, and it's like, is it though? Like, is it a ceremony in the same sense that your picture is going to affect what is going on? And when you really
Yeah.
think about it, that's a pretty arrogant view of the world,
Yeah.
that like those cameras can disrupt what's going on. Granted, yeah, of course, not everything needs a camera in front of it, and I'm not
Yeah.
advocating for that. What I'm advocating for is like for everyone to like really learn those levels in their own people, and know,
Yeah.
and if you know the roots of things, you know when to make comment, when comment's appropriate,
Yeah.
and you know when to shut up, and not, and just because you have an opinion doesn't mean anyone needs to even hear it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
granted, I've created a platform for myself to give my opinion, but so I could also shut up. But there's a lot of things I don't say, and but there's a lot of things you and I have talked about that have never been on the podcast because I just don't think it's designed. That particular conversation may have not been designed for that. You know,
Yeah.
this is different. It's like I'm sure there's even been people who said they share too much on the podcast.
Oh yeah. 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 I've heard that from some folks.
Mhm,
Like, oh, is that you should be should you be talking about that?
mhm.
And I'm like, I I don't know. No. I mean, yeah, of course, because I did, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't get the okay, so some people think that um like white people are gonna steal it. White people are gonna
Yeah,
steal that.
yeah,
And we
yep.
talked about this about I remember you mentioned something about the white people sweating up at Mount Shasta. Like who cares? Who cares? It ain't affecting, I mean, I don't think it's affecting us, those who practice that here. But I
Well,
don't know.
I do think that there's people out there that it's their sole purpose to police white people's bastardization of our beliefs. It's I don't think it's
Yeah.
mine. Everything's
Mm,
situational, right? If I ran across somebody and
yeah.
they were doing that, and I felt the need to correct them, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I and I know I won't because I lived on another person's reservation for almost 20 years and I never did it there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like I was pretty privileged that I got to see and participate in a lot of things, and in some ways, unfortunately, that I've participated in probably more than a lot of tribal members from there for
Right.
various reasons.
Yeah.
But I've never saw that as ammunition to throw at other people, or
Oh
to
yeah.
like to think I had any right to tell somebody what they're doing is wrong, or
Right. Yeah,
you know
that's
what
the
I
thing.
mean?
That's the thing with the ego of people, it goes a bit crazy when you arm yourself a little with a little bit of knowledge, and then you think that applies to many more things. I remember when I was a young man about 18, I remember saying this to myself. I'm like, man, I know a lot about a lot of things. I remember telling myself that, because you're 18, you're young, you're just learning some new things, and then you get this little ego in your head that you know everything. And I remember telling myself that. And I think some people are subjected to that when they start gaining a bit of knowledge about, and mostly it's surface knowledge things. It's not practitioners knowledge. They read some of the archival material, or maybe they, learning a few things here and there. But I think it's like repeated. It needs to be repeated and practiced. And when you do those things among people, That's where you start getting a check on that ego that you know everything and you had this right to expand that and police that among other people.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is
It's
but
also like
yeah.
thinking you have the. It's also thinking you have a grasp of
Oh
it. Like
yeah. Oh yeah.
we're all just trying to learn, and like I don't. I feel like I've put a lot of time into understanding my people, but also just understanding the state of Native people.
Yeah.
I've put more time than most because not only is it a hobby, it's my profession. It's
Yeah.
and so if I've put that much time into something and I still feel like I have a lot to learn, I don't fully understand
Yeah.
things. How is the casual person, not to sound arrogant, but how is the casual person gonna like be able to so I don't know why people just can't be cool when it comes to that stuff. Like just be cool, like that
It's pretty
person's doing
cool,
that
man.
thing, like
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah, I
go
don't know
ahead.
either. Oh, I don't know, man. But I hear this argument a lot and it's somewhat true, like when someone disagrees with something being recorded, filmed or documented in some way, people say, "Well, our some of our old people willingly recorded these things, willingly gave this information and documented it in a certain way." And a lot of that's true. I know there's some audio I have of one of those anthropologists on the res here actually recording a bunch of songs inside the sweat house. Like they stuck a
Oh, he
recorder
did.
in there,
Yeah.
and they did it on request from the some of my relatives and some of the older people at that time who were knowledgeable of all these things. They just said, "Yeah, let's record it." They were interested in documenting. I suppose I don't know what their motivation was, but they just did it. They didn't care. Well, I wouldn't say they
Yeah.
didn't care, but that happened.
Yeah. I think so. You ever even just like go on YouTube and like type in like a church service, like a Pentecostal church service?
Yeah,
I think there's like levels to things, right? So I don't see anything wrong with filming a church service, but I've always felt like when people record, if anyone knows anything about the Pentecostal church, there's a thing called being slain where they like fall on the ground, right? They
yeah,
lay hands on them, they fall.
yeah.
I do think that's not for the public.
Right.
And I wouldn't even say I don't even believe in that. I mean, I'm not a practitioner in that thing. I don't
Yeah,
participate, but I have enough respect to be like, I'm not gonna film that and post it and like,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
be like, I don't know. It just seems different than just a church service. It seems like something deeply personal. Like,
Yeah.
and plus, I think it can for the people in the video because they fall. Maybe that can be embarrassing. Like if they
Right.
saw it and be like, "Oh man, look at that! I wish they
Yeah.
wouldn't have shown. Look at my shirt comes up, or whatever." So like, there's
Yeah.
just things that aren't for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like one time I went to a Sundance and they recorded people going into the Sundance at the beginning.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything wrong with that. But then once they started doing their thing at the very beginning, then
Yeah.
I thought, well, maybe this part you don't need to record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
just a gut feeling. I didn't tell anybody that. I just kind of thought,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
That.
know. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody's got a different perspective of what those things are. And I don't know how you would police all of it.
I know. Yeah. That's like these rock concerts today versus the rock concert of the 90s. I remember going to a Metallica concert and they were frisking everybody. You had to pull your shirt up and spin around, and they patted you down, making sure you didn't have a recorder on you, so you weren't recording the concert. But nowadays, that's impossible to even do.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. So what's this? So what's the deal with this? You know about the this Native American belief that a photograph is going to steal your soul.
I don't know. I don't know. I always made fun of this because I would hear this and people would be like, or even don't take a picture of that because it takes the sacredness away. And I'm like,
Yeah,
look at that. Look at that. The Europeans came over here and fought us for 400 years
yeah,
and tried everything from boarding schools to warfare to sickness and
yeah.
religion, attacking our kinships. And turns out the only thing they had to do was take pictures. That we were like, that was it. That's all they had to do, and that was our kryptonite.
Stole everybody's soul.
Just steal our souls, take all of our sacredness away, just take pictures, and that was it. That's all. And then we just crumble. We just totally crumble.
Yeah,
And
why did those priests do all that work, you know, to
they
convert
didn't even
us?
have to. They
They didn't
didn't
have
have to
to.
work that hard. They just
Take a
said,
picture.
"Well, I'll take a picture of you. I'll steal your soul, and then I'll give your soul to Jesus or whatever."
Yeah.
And so we don't even have to get you to convert. We'll just steal your soul. We'll do, and then you're good. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's crazy.
I think the more you learn, the more you know when not to do those things and when it's permissible.
Yeah. I think your
You
church
also got to
example
be
is
somebody I want. Yeah.
your church
Right.
example is a real good one, right? So you show up to a church. I mean, right off, right then, like you don't ever go to church or nothing, but just like going into the church, you think, well, maybe I shouldn't record this. You know, you get. I was. Why would you anyway? You know, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Like
go with my friend to church, and I'm gonna record the whole thing. What for? You know, I guess.
yeah,
I don't
just
know.
some things are private. I mean, I don't think it has anything necessarily to do with
Yeah.
like holiness or the sacredness meter or stealing souls. I just think some things are private. Like
Yeah.
I've always thought it was weird when people film childbirth.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not because I'm afraid of childbirth or I think it takes away the souls of anybody. I just think sometimes things are private
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right. It's like, all right, now nothing wrong with as soon as the baby's born and taking pictures of the baby and all.
Right.
That's never bothered me. But
That's
like,
the same
I
with
don't know.
like that's the same with like funerals too. Like I get that same sort of feeling that yeah, maybe you shouldn't take a picture of the person in the casket, you know.
Yeah.
But
So
some
when
people
my
do.
grandfather, yeah, one time, one time my grandpa died. They only died one time. So he's got relatives from Fort Berthold. So
Yeah.
when he died, this was back in 2001, right? So
Yeah.
he passed away, had his funeral. His relatives from Fort Berthold came. Um, I saw them taking pictures, right?
Yeah.
And I even then I was 17 years old when he died, and I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, that's weird. They're taking pictures." But I didn't go up to them and say, "That's weird. You guys are taking pictures." So, and if there was any time I would have done that, would have been then,
Yeah.
unmedicated, hyper Aaron. Um, but they mailed them to my grandma, and
Oh, really?
I remember her opening the letter, and there was those pictures of my grandfather in a casket,
Hmm.
and I watched her like relive this moment of putting her husband of 50 years in the
Yeah.
ground. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, what was that for? Why would they like, you know, it wasn't fun. It wasn't a fun moment, you know.
Yeah.
And so we relived it again, and then it just kind of it wasn't good, you know. And so
Yeah.
in that instance, I don't know what the goal is to
Yeah. Yeah. I don't either.
I think intention has a lot to do with it. Purpose, like what are you using the stuff for, has a lot to do with it. Grant
Yeah.
Blutel himself had a tobacco adoption ceremony filmed,
Yeah.
had it filmed, and there it caused some division. But
Hmm.
even then, these were practitioners of this belief. Instead of them
Yeah.
going public and making comments, they just didn't participate.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's your own comfort, but they weren't comfortable with it, so they didn't participate. They didn't tell Grant he couldn't do it. They didn't
Yeah.
say, because they respected the fact that Grant is in charge,
Yeah.
and so as it should be, right?
As it should be. As it should be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not that confusing if you have a deep understanding of ceremonial things, you know, because you can apply what you know of your own way sort of to other people's ways. And the first sort of the first, I guess, rule of that would be you ain't got no right, you know, telling people how they can and can't do things outside of your own understanding.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yeah,
Now, if somebody comes to me and says, Aaron, I want to know, we just did this thing, and in your opinion, did we do it right? Was there anything we need to do? And I'm
yeah,
like, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I'll share my opinion, but that's very different, like being at home or, you know.
yeah. Very different. Very different. And I think the second thing is just with the new age of recording devices, you know, I think that the controversy or the disagreement of those things, I think that's okay. I think people ought to have discussion about that thing, so long as it's sort of internal, you know. Like if people have had a problem with the recording of a parade dance or whatever that is uniquely Crow, then Crow people ought to be discussing that, not anybody outside.
Yeah, it's our
Shouldn't weigh
thing
in
to
on that.
discuss.
Yeah, shouldn't weigh
Yeah.
in on that.
I don't even know why people think their opinion is going to matter to us.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, 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 yeah. That's sort of like the like when we talked about it before, the whole thing with, you know, these this in the past, these overlapping territories, and then people are starting to infringe on other people's creation stories, saying, "Oh, your creation story doesn't say that," or "You migrated from here or there," and that's like that doesn't seem. If a person is of a, well, I guess I shouldn't even say that, but if you understand the nature of your own ceremonial ways, you know where your limits are to throw your weight outside of your own area. And generally, that's never. It's generally never.
well, yeah, and with
Yeah.
the amount of culture loss that we're experiencing, like I don't have time to give opinions on whether I think someone's. I'm not going to go out of my way to comment on someone's post about they filmed a yaki corn dance or deer dance. You know, it's like I, I mean, it's not that I don't care. It's like, man, like we're barely getting by, you know, really. And I think
Yeah.
crows, we sit in a very privileged position when it comes to our culture. Like we're very fortunate to have a lot left, but even I am fully aware like how close we are to losing
Yeah.
uh, things. You know, like we're very close, and
Yeah.
so uh, uh, I think people should just focus on that and not get so worked up, man. Man, they like I'll see these comments and I'll kind of follow them,
Yeah.
and I'm like, holy smokes, they're like really worked up. Like I don't know, like, and I'll be watching those powwow lives. We like to watch them because it's like it's I'm learning it's some of the best background noise, you know. And then all of a sudden it'll stop. I'll look at the screen and it'll say ceremony in progress.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm like,
Like they'll go silent.
yeah,
The camera.
the camera, and it just a big. It says in letters and text on the screen, ceremony in progress. And then I think, man, I've been to a lot of powwows, man, and I thought, what exactly could be happening that we can't see it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
One time I was in standoff. It was either Browning or standoff, but they were doing a war bonnet transfer. And the drum group I was singing for, they picked a handful of them to sing for this ceremony.
Yeah.
And the guys were like, "Come on, Aaron, sing with us." So I was like, "All right." And they were filming it, and there was some discussion. There was murmurs.
Hot mama.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, should they be filming this?" Blah blah blah. Anyway, they did the ceremony. At the end, the guy who ran the ceremony announced, like, I want them filming it. I want people filming these things.
Yeah.
People need to see these things.
Yeah.
Share what you filmed with your kids. Share.
Yeah.
And he was like going off. He was like talking for a long time.
Yeah.
And he said, "So don't think it's disrespectful."
Yeah.
He said,
yeah.
And he made a good point. Actually, I'm reliving this. I forgot about it till we were talking. He even said, "It's probably better than anything else you're watching."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought, well, yeah, that's a good point, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know where it was at. It was a war bonnet transfer at Northern Quest Casino. So there was like a conference, and I was in. Black Whistle was invited to sing like a flag song, an honor song. So, and they were doing this honoring for the late chairman, Carl Van. It was like some sort of tribal leaders thing.
Yeah.
While at that conference, a Blackfoot contingency transferred a war bonnet, like a ceremony there.
Yeah.
At the conference.
Yeah.
And then a Blackfeet group, and myself, and kind of helped them sing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point, because there's a connection. There's a connection there between what would be considered sacred and those who can witness that to I guess verify or vouch if that thing is indeed sacred, right? Unless you're talking about really very individual practices, but even then, you confer with someone. But largely, a lot of these things are public, semi-public events, depending on the thing. But all those people are there because they are a witness in a particular way.
Is important.
Yeah, and the witness is important. So why not cast it out worldwide, man? And you're getting a global audience of witnesses. That would almost make it, the sacredness and the power of it, greater, right?
I would think so.
I mean, in a way, because then you can get a lot of comment from near and far, from people.
Would you rather have a group of Native people sitting around discussing someone posting a semi-sacred ceremony on Facebook or YouTube, as opposed to discussing some rezzers fighting outside of a gas station? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, both are pretty fun to talk about.
Right. But again, there's a limit to that, because some things are.
There is a limit, but again, there's a limit to everything, right? So everything has a limit. Like, we could record me and Miranda running around the house and having fun, but we're not going to record an argument.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not going to record me disciplining my kids or getting mad at my kids for something they've done wrong, or correcting them for something, you know. Like, I'm not going to record that, because not everything is for the public. I think it's not a matter of something being sacred or something being unsacred. It has just to do with more what's public, what's for the public.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing on social media is a lot of these ceremonies are things they're saying you shouldn't record they don't understand them themselves, because a lot of those are designed for the public.
Yeah.
Like the
witness.
war bonnet transfer.
Yeah.
That's for people to witness. So
Yeah.
now we all are aware that person owns the right to that
Yeah.
thing. And that's a big deal in some tribes. It's a big deal when the public knows, you know?
Yeah. 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 Even like people who whistle. I mean, of course, that whistling of the drum is a modern thing, but it's serving a contemporary purpose, because they do it for a specific reason, and if given opportunity, they talk about why they did that. That makes it, I think it makes it even more significant, you know. They're saying, I did this because somebody gave me this and told me to do this, and I did this for this particular reason.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with people filming that. And I think in that instance, you're right. Like, it can actually even help it, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. All these people that are commenting about how things are sacred and they all have Edward Curtis for photos in their house, you know? They all have, they've all watched Thunderheart, and like, they all watch documentaries about Indians, and it's weird to me. It's like, well, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I think it's just people that
I think it's good in one way, so long as, like I said, it's internal, you know.
Oh, like
like there's this new thing out where back home people are wanting, or they propose a new flag design for CSKT.
I remember when those discussions were first kind of
started.
I even remember seeing some of those first designs for that.
Yeah, there's a new one proposed out. It just came out the other day, and it caused this huge explosion of comment, you know, of course, and some people like it, most people don't. But that's like an internal thing, you know. And I don't think there's one person who's, you know, somebody from North Carolina weighing in on what that design and what that ought to look like. That's just not appropriate.
I want to comment.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I like it, but I also think like there's no right answer.
Yeah.
I just think people need native people in North America need to realize we're not Americans. Our culture is different.
Yeah.
This need to comment and voice opinion, and this idea of it is very American.
Yeah.
We're taught to respect people and their beliefs, and it's not my place, and it shouldn't be their place to think they should correct somebody in that particular instance. And those discussions, if anything, should be not filmed and not photographed and put out there in the public. It's your comment. Those things should be those things, just like the thing you're arguing about. Discussion can be in some level sacred without sounding cheesy, but those things should be done privately. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And just go to work.
Yeah. Got a problem. If you got a problem, make the problem with that person, not with,
or don't.
Just don't.
Up.
Just shut up.
Just turn to your wife, turn to your boyfriend, turn to your whoever you're sitting next to, and just be like, man, that's crazy that they filmed that. I wouldn't do that. And then change the channel or go to a different video. Like, so, all right, let's be done now.
Okay, that's good. So, levels of sacredness. That's an interesting one. I'm gonna look into that more, but I think we talked about it a bit here, and it's pretty interesting. But yeah, must be done, man.
Yeah,
you're tired.
I am tired.
We're gonna be done, so you can put that muscle shirt back on, get some rest,
shower, and go to bed.
Right on, man. Okay.
All right. Thanks for recording this fine episode with me.
And it is a fine one.
Yeah.